Hey, welcome back everybody. So today is Monday. We got a bunch done on the Eton last night over at Tim's house. It started pouring rain, as you might have saw in the background on some of the video footage, but we did a pretty good job. We got it all put back together. It starts up, it runs, but we're having some issue with the throttle cable. We've got too much slack in it. At first we tried the lid that came with the carb, and we didn't have enough slack. So we put the carb top that came with the kit, that was from a different carburetor, but that had that cable in it. And it fit in there. Now we have too much slack. So we got to work on the slack issue for the throttle, because right now full throttle doesn't open the slide all the way. So we're going to have to work on that. And then the other thing is it doesn't sound a whole lot, or it doesn't feel a whole lot peppier. So I know part of that is the slide and the throttle cable, but even the amount of gas that we're giving it now does not feel like it's got a bunch of oomph behind it for all the stuff that we just did to it. So we're going to work on the carburetor today. We're going to move the needle position. We're going to work on that cable and hopefully get it running a little bit better. But so off camera yesterday, we found that there was a leak around the exhaust. I put in a GY6 exhaust gasket that we had, so that way sealed up pretty much all the exhaust leak. I don't think that there's a lot of exhaust leak left. If there's any, it's very minor. I did order a new gasket that's specific for this one, so we'll put that on once it comes in. But some interesting things that happened was I over tightened one of the bolts and sheared off the head, and had to drill it out and use a tapered extractor and extract the bolt, which was a lot of fun. I have to say, I highly recommend not doing it if you don't have to. Tighten things by hand, especially when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah, break it loose with the impact wrench or the drill or whatever you got, but when it comes to tightening that stuff, just tighten it by hand with a socket wrench and you shouldn't have those problems. But I over torqued it and just sheared it right off with a drill. It was hard to get to. I was using an extension, and yeah, shouldn't have done that. So it took me about an hour. I went over to my buddy Tim's, borrowed his extractor, which I have to bring back to him, which obviously adds to the time and everything. I could have been doing something else. But I used that, drilled it out, tapped it, got it extracted, put in new bolt, put on that gasket, tightened it up, took it for a run last night. Seemed to be running pretty good. It still is sluggish getting going. It's not showing the power that it should for what we did to it. So I'm just going to do a quick walk around and show you some of the parts, just go over what we did, and yeah, pretty cool if it'll all work and give us the power that I'm looking for. But it was a fun upgrade. I can always put it back to the way it was for now until I cut up the exhaust. But the old exhaust. I have a project for it. But until then, I can put it back to the way it was. So I'll just do a quick walk around right now. Alright, cool. Here we go. So we put the new 21 millimeter carburetor on there. It's got a 105 millimeter main jet and a 80. I have to go back and look on the pilot jet, but all new jets. We reused the lid from the kit that came with this, but that carburetor was in pretty bad shape from the kit that I ordered, so not real happy with that seller. But anyway, carburetor was in bad shape, so went with this carburetor, bolted up to the KOSO intake that came in the kit. This is basically the exact same as the OKO carburetor. It's just a ZD RP. It's like a clone of that, or just another model similar to it. So have that on there. I need to adjust the needle position for sure, and then possibly do a little bit more adjustment to the length of the throttle cable. Got a little bit of slack in it right now, so going to work on that. But got that put on there, and then there's that KOSO, however you say it, intake right there, where it goes into the top. We did those carbon fiber reeds, so those are underneath that intake. So the new carbon fiber reeds, we took out the steel reeds. And the kit came with this pipe. I'm not sure what make pipe it is. It sounds really nice. It's back there. You see the expansion chamber all down through there. So it fits in real nice with this frame and the plastics. This bike has reverse, so didn't have to cut or modify any of the frame or plastic. And it came with this spiffy carbon fiber look cover, so I went ahead and put that on there. It came with a aluminum gas cap, but I haven't switched it out yet. And it came with this new throttle cable, or the one that was on the other carb, but I don't, it's not the right length. At least with the carb that we're currently using, so I've still got to make some adjustments on that. But it, let's see how she'll start. She's cold right now. Let's pull a choke on her. So that, it deleted this, unless I rig up a way for that lifter to work with the stock choke cable style. That is removed. Cranked right up with a little choke. Like I said, she was cold. Turn the choke off. So it's sounding pretty good. Just not as peppy as I want it to be just yet for all we did to it. So I'm going to make some adjustments to that carburetor needle, and then we'll take it for a test drive. I'll try to bring you guys along with the test drive. I might still be running it a little rich. I'm still getting used to mixing my own gas for this guy, so I'll get it dialed in. I started out at about 32 to 1, so I was on the safe side. I think I'm running almost 40 to 1 now. It might need it a little richer, a little more gas than that, so we'll see how it goes, but I'll be back in a minute.